open on a tracking shot from behind a sweater-clad librarian pushing a book-laden metal cart between the dust-cloaked stacks of the Borthwell Library. His curly, dirty blonde hair sweeps over his glasses, and his eyes give the sunken look of a man cracking under the strain of balancing work, academics, and extracurriculars. He sighs. The wheels of the cart squeak as the camera pivots to a side view of him. We continue tracing as we walk through a gap between the stacks. A small sitting area, now visible, is home to 4 students loudly chatting, the sounds of which fade in and then out as we re-enter the shelves. Eventually, the cart stops. The librarian sniffs with a half-dead expression as he leans down. We, from the perspective of a book on the bottom of the cart, see him take a tome from it and remove a concealed key taped to the inside of the back cover. He then stands. We cut once more to a view behind him as his fingers dance along a bookshelf, just below eye level. He stops on one of the books and pulls it back. There is a click, and he pulls the shelf forward to reveal a hidden door behind it. He inserts a key into the old metal fixture and pushes it open. We cut to the interior of this hidden room. Dark and musty, it is some old and forgotten storage area of this ancient arcade of academic accoutrement. The camera is positioned over and behind the shoulder of a figure cloaked in shadow. A wooden mask shaped to look like an Acarosian puffin sits on a wooden table beside him. He taps his fingers rhythmically on the table as the librarian descends a set of stairs in front of him, holding the same book he obtained the key from. The figure speaks. "Well, Lawrence, how many?" The librarian responds, "None." "None? What do you mean, none? Dr. Abadi's exam is tomorrow, is it not? Isn't the whole English department student body about to embark on an inescapable gauntlet that is the first round of midterms?" "Sure is, Cyrus, and they sure are. Don't be cute with me, Lawrence. When there are exams, there are the cheat sheets. When have we not been in demand?" "Well, when has there been another supplier?" Cyrus's head picks up and the tapping ceases. We see a second figure just barely step into frame from the shadows at the side of the room. We can't see her face, but just the edges of her long hair drape down over her shoulders. She remains silent as Cyrus speaks. "Another supplier?" "Oh, sure. They charge half your normal rate. Got Abadi's key without raising any eyebrows from Parson. Real go-getters. But do tell, Lawrence, you've suddenly become more interesting than typical. I can tell you one thing. As it is now, they do what you do, but cheaper and quieter. If you don't shake things up, they'll bury you." We cut to a shot looking up from a small hole in some soil. Dirt falls from above and covers the camera as we cut to Heinz Kirchup in Botany 101. He quietly and attentively shovels soil from a steel bucket around a sapling sitting on a large planting box his class is working with. A small dark stick looks withered and dead as it protrudes from the artificial ground, before Kirchup produces a small black vial of 20% Leviathan essence. He pours it onto the plant, and it suddenly grows a foot tall and splinters in half, the top of the plant shattering. A single green leaf sprouts from the center of the woody fern. The professor walks by and marks B- on a slip of paper next to it. Behind Kirchup is an arched window. The quad is visible outside Clark Hall. The perpetually dark sky is kept at bay by the large electroplasmic lamps that shed cold light across campus during the day. The flickering of the lightning barrier trickles across the dark clouds which linger over Duskwall. From them, rather than the snow which has been typical since the start of the semester, a gentle sleet trickles instead, rendering an occasional tap on the glass. Suddenly, the ever-exhausted Jake Lewis appears behind Kirchup and taps twice on his shoulder, speaking in a low voice through his patchily stubbled mouth. "Hey, found out why we've gotten no business in the last few weeks." He places a small origami swan in Kirchup's hand. Unfolded, it is revealed to be an advertisement. 5th finger discount, item requisition, lost and found services, and exam preparation help now available for at-cost prices. Talk to Lawrence. He continues. Apparently a better-known crew of skulks called the Cheat Sheets have been handing these out to every student in the know. We can't compete with the prices they've been offering, and they've been, siphoning all your business. Since we've hit the dry spell, I've had to buy second-hand accounting textbooks. Second-hand! Find a way to shut these old-timers down, or we're not going to muscle in.
I think Heinz Kirchup looks directly at the camera and goes,
That is an arched eyebrow and other eyebrow down.
DreamWorks face.
That's a much better way of saying it. And what do we cut to?
All
Okay.
right. So we're all in the dorm room. Heinz has come to us with this news.
He's maintained the face the entire way.
What are our options?
Well, we can't beat their price.
We could attempt to diversify our services.
Perhaps.
I was fiddling with some 20% Leviathan essence, and this plant that I dripped it on, its top split. I assume I could do that to this man's head. So.
I don't think.
I know.
That's how it works.
A
And
couple
also,
sessions down the line.
I don't think that's the kind of people we are.
Yet.
And yet, I must agree that to back down from this competition now would set a precedent. We would continue to shirk away at every transgression. Perhaps a more physical strategy is called for.
I mean, even if we don't want to undertake my plan literally, we could do it metaphorically. Cut the head off the snake.
What are you proposing?
Beat him up.
I believe I have an idea for something slightly more civilized. I know what I want to say to the guy who is the boss. I don't know how we get the boss.
This is probably how do you get to the boss? Because he's like a masked guy. No one knows who the head cheat sheet is. We just know his in-between is a librarian named Lawrence from the advertisements.
No shot that
If we
this
do
is
know that,
our...
we can contact Lawrence, and it'll get to him.
Can I just preemptively gather information on who the leader of the cheat sheets is?
Absolutely. How do you want to do this?
I would like to use consort to talk to people.
All right, where are you talking to people? Is there an event coming up, or a class, or a person, or a contact you're drawing on?
Absolutely. I think, it's about to be midterm season. I'm going to be asking people...
It's nearly final season.
Oh.
His monologue about being in midterms was before the second session.
Oh,
That was
okay.
a flashback to Dr. Abadi's exam, and they've since been undercutting you.
So, finals, I'm gonna ask people what their dealers are for, get an exam help, and then seeing if I can juice anything beyond just talk to the cheat sheets.
Okay. You're looking for any info you can get on the cheat sheets by, asking around, hey, how'd you do so well on that test last week, and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. That's a success.
That's
you
a
get
success.
information. You get good details. Clarifying and follow-up questions are possible. All right. Sitting in your MAG 201 class, that's Magistration 201, you are beside your good acquaintance Haskell Gordon, poring over case law from just after the Cataclysm hit, and what little stenographic records have survived from the earliest periods of Duskwall's history, as it provides the foundation for most of its criminal court system. And you see the professor handing back exams, and in a pool of D+, Haskell seems to have eked out a B-.
Impressive.
Yeah, well, thanks. The guy tries his best. He slicks back his already receding blonde hair and tucks the comb into that ear.
What are your studying habits?
Well, let's just say it's about who you know.
Interesting. Who do you know?
Who do I know? Well, I know plenty of people. I know you, Herschel. And I know a guy who can do what you offered me to do, but for a few slugs less. I assume that's why you're talking to me?
How prescient of you.
Now, it's less prescience and more that with you it's always business.
So what do you know?
Well, I know the guy's name is Cyrus. Hangs out in Borthwell Library. Pals around with some Scav chick.
I guess that's all the information I
All right.
really need. I mean,
We get a shot of you looking pensively forward. And we cut to the next scene. Do either of you two want to do anything?
I think something I might do, and I'll repeat myself if we decide that this is a good idea, is inquire about how exactly the extracurricular organizations at this university settle scores.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, if I can learn about, how do,
Jake might know.
he might.
Because
We
he's
could
a
ask him,
sophomore,
'cause
right?
he's been around,
He's your
yeah.
in.
Jake, when, in the course of extracurricular pursuits, issues such as this one come up, how do the crews settle things?
Settle things?
Yes.
I mean, I guess there's talks, and if talks fail, sometimes there's blood, sometimes there's teeth. I mean, look, I was only the numbers man for the slugs for a few months before that shit went down at the canal. I don't know a whole lot.
Right.
Who exactly is it you're trying to resolve a score with?
Well, these cheat sheets.
You've taken my advice.
Indeed.
All
I
right.
fear that we will be out of the game, as it were, if we don't nip this in the bud.
True enough. And I can't imagine the cheat sheets are going to be amenable to just up and leaving. Normally, scores in Charter Hall are settled by whoever gets the drop on the other. That's been my understanding of it.
So, can I just try and get a meeting with Cyrus through Lawrence?
Absolutely. So you encounter Lawrence, who is currently sitting next to a lamp dimly lighting a study room at the back end of the third floor of the Borthwell Library. And it's kind of like the shot is of this big, massive collection of bookshelves with study tables set between them. And he is the only person in frame, just sitting poring over this comically huge book, just turning pages.
Lawrence, I assume.
Yes?
I understand you represent a organization on campus.
Yeah?
I'd like to speak to your leader if that's at all amenable.
It'd be a little more specific, so as to not entrap me.
Where can I meet with Cyrus?
Alright, that's what I thought. Who the hell are you?
Herschel Dalton, of the Bookenders.
The Bookenders. The Abadi Bastards. Sure.
Our fame precedes us.
I think Cyrus would be very eager to meet with you.
The feeling is mutual.
And what exactly do you want to do? I gotta have an agenda set.
This war of attrition, where we both price each other out, it's bad for business for both of us. I suggest we play for keeps.
Play for keeps. He'll like that. Alright, you'll have your meeting. So let's say you guys meet at... He would want to meet somewhere neutral, but private. I think they are going to suggest meeting at the den of a local crew, probably, just so you're meeting at a criminal element and not having to worry about campus security being on your backs. How about... I think he's going to suggest that you meet at the... just meet, not duel.
Yeah.
But negotiate at the Parkway Boathouse, where a pair of brothers called the Spitshiners run a smuggling operation.
Alright, so is that where we are?
So yeah, you are you coming with your whole team or just yourself?
Do you guys want to be there?
It's probably best for us to be there.
Yeah, just in case anything happens.
Okay. So you guys are walking, it's proper nighttime, not daytime nighttime. It's proper nighttime on campus, and the Parkway Channel, just to the north of campus, is smelling particularly rancid today as its inky black water slowly courses its way through the city. The Parkway Boathouse is an ancient and mostly wooden structure with masonry foundations that you have to walk down a stone staircase to access. It provides access to the canal for the university's rowing team and really isn't used for any other commercial purposes these days. Leaning against the post, like the chain post that goes onto the staircase that leads down to the boathouse on the side of the canal, is a very burly member of the rowing team. And he looks at you as you three approach.
We are here for a meeting.
You're with Lawrence's boys, yeah?
That is correct.
Well, come on down then. And you guys are going to shuffle down the staircase, push through a creaky door, and I think that this room is like a big walkway around open water at the middle with a bunch of rowing canoes in it, and then a large garage that comes down instead of a fourth wall. So it's like a very creaky, industrial, moldery-looking building. And there are two identical twin brothers, 19, 20, with completely straight cut, almost Lego-esque brown hair, wearing rowing team like merchandise. They're not on the team. They don't have like Letterman's jackets, but they're just repping the rowing team. Just sort of sitting there, each drinking a bottle of Sullivan Orchard's hard cider. You walk in, and the brothers that run the Spitshiners, who haven't introduced themselves to you yet, just kind of nod, and one of them is going to say, "So you're Herschel Dalton, yes?"
That is correct.
I think our mutual friend is going to be here quite soon. And there's a little bit of like dry lightning outside, and then a figure is standing at the other end of the boathouse, as like a lantern above him swings a little bit, bathing him in light, and then shadow, and then light once more. The cheat sheet stands around 6'1" and rather slim, is elegantly draped in a powder blue suit terminating in a burgundy puff tie. His clothing is immaculately pressed, and he has a rapier sheathed to his right. The handle, gilded in silver, has two stylized bird's wings sprouting from the pommel. His head cannot be seen past his umber ears, which poke out from beneath his right parting, short-cut black hair. His face is presently occupied by a simple but well-carved wooden mask, giving the appearance of a well-known but near-extinct species of local bird. His stance gives a casual observer the impression of... gives an untrained observer the impression of a casual stance, but to a swordsman, it gives away a state of alertness. He is silent as you enter, or as you stand.
And what may I call you?
If you must, Cyrus.
Cyrus? I'm Herschel Dalton.
So I've heard. Playing for keeps, are we?
Yes, it's no secret that our organizations don't quite see eye to eye, and I believe there's a simple reason for that. In a space so constrained as our humble campus, there's simply no room for competing enterprise.
I 100% agree with you, and I will say that I am incredibly happy that after only a few weeks of attrition, you've already come here for conditional surrender.
I appreciate a slow burn, but a war of attrition, that's bad publicity. So, make no mistake, I'm not here to surrender, but I am here to offer a more civilized alternative.
Alternative? Tell me, Dalton, why should my operation pursue any such alternative when it's very apparent our war of attrition is doing us so well already?
Is it they're winning?
They think they are. I mean, he's saying that. He might not believe it. He could be bluffing right now. You can roll something if you'd like.
We do know that they have had to slash their prices significantly.
Yes.
And they would stand to profit a lot more if they did not have to do that.
This guy is giving a very bold and confident appearance right now.
But he's also wearing a mask.
Yes, he is.
Don't discount the consequences of competing with us. You're at cost prices. You're going to bankrupt yourselves if things go the way they are now.
All right, would you like to roll something against this guy?
Sure. Is this consort?
Yeah, this is consort.
Can Jake Lewis roll to help?
I think Jake Lewis can give you an extra die because you've got an accountant telling you that this is very bad for them.
Woo. Thanks, Jake.
This is controlled standard.
6.
Or controlled standard, yeah. 6. All right.
No standard consequences.
I suppose market competition is markedly worse than the monopoly we prior enjoyed. More specificity in your proposition, please.
One way or another. Your cheat sheets or my bookenders will choke the other out. So rather than something so nasty for both sides, I, Herschel Dalton, challenge you to a duel to first blood.
A duel.
The first to bleed will relinquish the entirety of their territory to the victor and suspend operations on Charter Hall campus permanently.
I suppose this is what Lawrence meant when he said keeps.
Absolutely. This is the inevitable end to our conflict.
Then I have your word as a Dalton that, should we win, it is to say, the end of the bookenders.
My word as a Dalton.
Very well. Then I give you my word as a criminal.
And one more thing. I consider tardiness equivalent to forfeit. So do take care to arrive right on time.
All right, so now we have you guys in the dorm room planning. Did you propose a duel like at midnight at the Dalton statue outside the archives? I think you're at +1.
I would love to.
Yeah,
I
'cause
forgot
that's
to
cool.
I forgot to
Tell him the
label the
location,
condition
but-
of each of us brings a bladed weapon of our choosing.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, and it'll be outside the Dalton archives at midnight.
And I've already seen his.
That's
what
true.
bladed weapon Cyrus will bring.
I wonder what bladed weapon I will
8
bring.
machines.
I don't have a rapier, but I do have my letter opener that is very fancy.
The rapier was just for show.
You guys can spend a coin to acquire a rapier.
I don't
first
think
for
we
a-
need to do that.
Alright.
It's not going to give me any benefit.
What if we stole one?
Wait, I could
Won't
just
it?
take load for an unusual
Could we
weapon.
end this
Yeah,
war
or just a
here
bladed
and then have
weapon,
a
yeah.
sword to steal a rapier?
Yes. Unironically, yes.
But like,
Wait, can I steal his rapier?
We show up with his rapier. He has to forfeit the duel.
He goes to draw his sword and it's just the hilt.
And one more condition for the duel. I want that.
One more condition for the duel.
Winter and I are operating in the past, so we just steal his rapier.
Well, the duel is happening in a week. Everything you guys are doing is between now and then. So we are going to cut to you arriving at the duel, and then you two are going to do an engagement roll right now. And we're going to be repeatedly cutting between you doing duel stuff and you guys doing sabotage stuff. That's how it's going to work.
So what the fuck is our plan? Is it...
By the way, I'm going to specify First Blood is a level 2 harm. Because
Level
if
2
he,
harm.
like a level 2
I
harm
already
for him-
have a level 1 harm.
Yes. I think he's going to be an 8-segment clock to get him to a level 2 harm. You're going to have freedom to resist and shit. Okay.
that'd be a rule.
Anyway.
My gadget is crime.
So we probably start with you arriving at the duel, and then we're going to, before any swords are like sliced, we cut back to them a week ago. I think it's how it's going to work. So you three all arrive at midnight to the statue of Perseus Dalton.
I don't hate that. Perseus Dalton.
Outside the Dalton archive. And there the short, ever-anxious, ginger-haired Eldritch Kinghead, who is in charge of, he's on the Charter Hall post, he runs the archive, walks, and you guys can burn your +1 relationship with them for some benefit at some point if you want, is going to walk up to you and he's going to say, hey, Herschel,
Yes.
we're all ready for the duel here. I've made sure that Parsons is not going to have his sniffer anywhere near here. He's got a sword. Are you sure you want to do this?
Positive.
Well, I mean, okay. I've cleared out a little gravel pavilion right in front of the statue as normal. I could referee if you want. I'm taking a class on the theory of dueling.
That would be perfect.
This is exciting for him because he's going to write a story on it and omit the names. But you three, I assume, are going to walk onto this gravel pavilion, and you're going to see Cyrus standing there, perfectly straight up, adjusting his burgundy tie, rapier still sheathed at his side, standing just in front of the statue of Perseus as you guys approach. And it's like this circular gravel ring just in front of the large columned building of the Dalton Archives. And lingering in the shadows around the pit, or the gravel ring, are a few spectators. The Spitshiner brothers are here, leaning against a post, eating a little bit of popcorn that they brought with them. The Bolton brothers are all sat on a bench at the end of the archive, leaning forward and observing.
Doesn't that guy look like that, math major who said that guy you were fighting was cheating?
Oh, they are here to watch you lose, hopefully.
Oh, so they figured out that was my fake identity.
They got from Lewis who you guys were. You are at -2
Oh, that's
relationship with the Bolton
right.
brothers. They are here to hopefully watch you bleed, because they don't like you. And I can't think of anyone else that would be present here. Let's see, yeah, I think, and then maybe a couple people you don't recognize are probably going to be hanging out in the shadows, and the...
Do I see a Scav chick?
Give me survey, I think that would be. Gather information.
I have a die on that. That's 4.
All right. You are going to see in the torchlight a figure leaning against one of the columns of the archive. Occasionally, a little glint of a lantern is going to glance off of some lens. There is a dark figure observing this duel.
Do they have a fucking sniper?
Oh, they have glasses.
And like the deputy chief editor of the... Oh, I think the pros are going to be here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the pros are going to be here. Melanie, what was her name? Beatrice Pineworth is her name. And I think that she is sitting there with a notebook ready to write a piece, like a story based on this duel. We'll say a few of the pros are here hanging around. Okay, so Cyrus is going to step forward and say, Dalton, are we ready?
Quite prepared.
Then he is going to draw his rapier and swing it twice in the air in front of him, making a noise in the air.
I can tick load for a blade or two. Can that be a rapier?
That would be, I think, a large weapon.
Shit.
A blade is a knife. So yeah, what is your load right now? Probably light.
Probably.
If it's
Well,
heavy,
yours
he's
ought to be
gonna
heavy.
suspect stuff. No,
Is that against the rules? Might
I
be.
said we bring a single-bladed weapon of our choice,
Yeah.
but I didn't say anything about bringing armor and stuff. And let's be real, I went into this knowing we probably both had tricks up our sleeves, so I better bring some long sleeves.
And what load are you taking?
Heavy. I want to be
Heavy?
heavy armor.
I think you could definitely get away with light. Heavy's tough, but heavy armor's heavy. Yeah.
Heavy load means you are coming in here looking like you have cheated. You are bulky, your armor plate can be seen beneath your suit. Like, heavy armor means you are incredibly suspect out the gates.
I think
Okay,
normal.
then
I think we settle for
normal.
normal.
Alright, so yeah, you're here normal. You, like, you're wearing, like, a big coat that can hide stuff in it. Worth noting, so is he.
Yeah, no,
obviously.
exactly. So I will then just tick one load to get a blade or two. I feel like the palm blade is an ace in the hole.
Yeah, that's like your...
So then I'll tick one load for a blade or two.
Okay.
Don't forget about your thief rigging.
Oh, that's true. We get extra... What
Two
is
free
it?
load.
For what?
Tools or gear.
Tools or
Ooh,
gear. So that's
forget about your
specific. Don't forget.
I'm gonna take burglary gear.
Hit with a crowbar! Alright, so yeah, you, are you taking two loads so you can get it like a proper sword?
Is that gonna put me at a disadvantage?
I think if you don't have a sword, it probably does, yes. It'll affect position, not effect.
Oh, but if I have letter opener, am I still at less position?
Yes, I think so. Because it
Shit.
doesn't have the kind of reach.
I don't
yeah,
like
you're
that.
outranged by being in a...
I'm gonna
Duel
go
with
for a
swords.
large weapon.
Okay. So you've got a rapier. I think it's not unreasonable that you could acquire one.
I feel like I probably own one as just a rich kid who took fencing lessons.
I buy from you that you have a leftover fencing sword, yes.
Yeah.
And we'll say that you have sharpened it in the week up to here. That's what you've been doing while they have been scheming, is you have been preparing your rapier.
This has taken a week.
That's
so
like
sharp.
practicing, I guess.
Oh, yeah, we'll have, shots of you, fighting a dummy instead. Jake Lewis is in, big padding and you keep poking him.
Ben, draw all of this.
Don't. That's not what this show is.
Ben,
That's not what the
animate
show
90
is.
minutes.
No.
Do Heinz doing the DreamWorks face. That's every transition. Just that face coming forward and coming back.
To be honest.
Alright. So, then let's begin. And we cut to a week ago. As Heinz and...
I also like to say I'm wearing my opera mask.
Yes.
That I got
Oh,
in
of
session
course.
And he's wearing his bird mask. Yeah, you're both
Yeah,
here.
we're both
in
here.
Masked
incognito.
Masked up.
Let's cut back to you two as I'm going to draw the clock for this session. I'm going to go get my whiteboard.
Oh my god. What are we meant to do?
I think I have an idea.
Yes. Tell me so I can help you complete it.
Well, we're going to cheat.
Yes! So then, how will we perform these shadowy cheats of ours?
Well, we've recently made some shadowy associates, and I'm thinking we may be able to enlist their help briefly,
Yes, yes.
or at least the use of their library.
So we've got the clock set up. It says cheat.
So what do you want to do?
Okay, my plan is, I think Ernest is going to pay our friends the Void Chalks a visit, and inquire if they happen to know any curses. Something temporary, something that can throw Cyrus off his game long enough for Dalton to win the duel.
Okay.
I'm going to try and sabotage him by occult means.
So, all right, you are going to go meet with Josiah Fitzgraves, the friend that you made in the Shrine Keeps from last time.
Yes.
Now,
Or the Void Chalks, rather.
or the Void Chalks, I mean. Now, I think I just described him as like a standard Akarosian guy, but I kind of want to make him like, what are the fucked up demon people?
Oh, the Tyroki?
I want to make him
Tycherosi.
Tycherosi. Like, I think I might want to retcon him to be minorly Tycheroki.
Yeah, a little bit.
What can we give Josiah Fitzgraves?
Big horn?
A little devil
Dog.
horns.
Yeah, he's got little devil horns. He has little devil horns that come out of his head, and maybe you can't see it, but his heel is a goat hoof or whatever. He looks devilish.
Yeah.
All right. So you have arranged a meeting with Josiah Fitzgraves, and he is like leaning at the appointed times at the back entrance of Moreland Hall, just sort of flipping a coin to himself ambiently in his big jacket and flat cap with 2 holes cut out the front for his little devil horns that poke out of his forehead. He's looking pale and gaunt than ever and wears fingerless gloves that still have some various colored chalk stains over them as you approach under the cover of perpetual night. Ernest!
Josiah.
It's good to see you again.
Yes.
How's the end of the semester been treating you? You got a lot of tough finals?
Well, we are up against one test that I find is rather troubling.
Oh?
My associates and I are planning something bold, and I was hoping I could enlist your assistance in it.
I suppose I do owe you a favor. What's the plan?
Our mutual friend, Timepiece, is going to be engaging in a bit of sport, and I need to be sure he wins at any cost. That's why I propose that we, by some supernatural means, sabotage his competition.
You're looking to curse the guy. Oh. Given a couple months, I think it'd be rather easy to make up that kind of curse. You know, you make a guy crap out, you make him tired, sleepy, sweaty, shit his pants.
Yes, well, any of that would work great, but the trouble is, we only have a week.
That does change things a little. And he catches the coin, as you say we only have a week, and tucks it into his side coat pocket. Right. Well, there's only one thing to it. Before that guy hits your friends, we gotta hit the books. And you are going to attempt to research a curse with Josiah Fitzgraves over the next week of sabotage.
That's right.
Okay, what do you want this curse to be able to do?
Basically, I needed to make Cyrus worse at dueling. So, like, yeah, if it makes him...
Like make him dizzy or
Yeah,
something?
he could be dizzy, he could have nausea, tie his shoelaces together, like, something that would, I think, like, give him vertigo, maybe, so he has
okay.
poor balance, or something of that sort. If we want it to be, like, Ernest branded, he could get, like, chills.
I like that idea. So chills, vertigo, shivers, the shakes.
Cough on him.
Yeah, it makes his hands shake.
Now
It's difficult to duel effectively.
I think that the arcane library is Borthwell.
Right, and I believe that is the Void Chalk's
Yes,
territory.
yes, it is. I think that makes this much more fun.
That's why I came to them.
Okay, I'm not the Void Sharks. No, Borthwell is controlled by the cheat sheets.
I was gonna
Oh,
say.
That's their headquarters.
Well, this is more fun.
Yes, I like this a lot. All right,
I guess we'll.
we're gonna do. We should probably do an engagement roll.
Yeah, I think so.
You entering the library.
That's true.
Heinz, are you with Winter Blades in the Dark right now to enter this library?
Or do you have other plans?
I think
Perhaps some kind of.
there will be time
technical-
for more plans after the library.
I agree.
Okay,
All right.
So we got to get in the library.
it's true.
Am I here with you?
Yes.
What does that do to the engagement roll?
Nothing. You're gonna make an engagement roll.
But your
You're
being
gonna be
here
there
means
now.
we have more resources for whatever
We heard
comes
you
up.
like Heinz Kirchhoff. So he's here. So you're walking into the library to do a study thing. This feels mostly social. I think this
Yeah.
whole plan is mostly social.
I think so.
Are you just walking into the library front door?
I mean, we could try and sneak in.
You could.
What's your prowl?
My prowl is 2. I'm
Group
more
tactics.
prowly than I am.
I have 1 prowl. Group tactics.
This is an engagement roll.
Right.
That doesn't work.
But we're thinking
But
about
once
the
you
kinds
sneak
of
in,
roles we
yeah.
want to make.
This just determines your
Because-
position for the open.
The one who does social roles is
Is
our duelist.
Trying to stab another person.
So we should
Sneak in.
probably sneak in.
Yeah.
So this is a stealth.
I
Okay,
think
how
you
are you
sneak
sneaking in? What's the point
Especially
of that?
because the librarian is in on it. So if we check out curse books, that's gonna be an issue.
This Void Chalks guy, he spends a lot of time in the library. He's got to know of a secondary entrance, right?
Okay.
He might.
If it is specifically the arcane library, that especially makes sense.
He's got to know about a second entrance. Because I doubt that he checks out every book that he reads.
What is the secondary entrance? Give me some ideas for it. You're right, there's gotta be one.
Sewer.
Absolutely, there is
Yeah,
a sewer.
that's
entrance.
definitely
Sewer
a
grate
sewer,
that
right?
goes
Sewer
into
grate
the
into the
library.
library.
There is a
Sewer grate
sewer
library.
entrance into the back in the day when it was dangerous to be outside, you wouldn't want to open a window to throw a chamber pot out. So some of the really old buildings on campus would have a big well in an old bathroom that you would dump all of your waste directly into the pre-cataclysm sewage system from. And they mostly just built over it. It still connects to the sewer system. There's a proper bathroom with indoor plumbing now, but there's still a big entrance into the library through this old chamber pot disposal pit. So yeah, you can enter through the sewage.
Okay. Put this on yourself.
The things we do for what is this?
It's drift oil.
Oh, thank you.
It's free.
It's for the things we
It's
do
for
for Herschel Dalton.
All right, so we're gonna make a stealth engagement roll.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty well balanced between bold, daring, and contingent. I think that this is flat on that.
Sure.
Friends, contacts, and enemies and rivals both
We got
cancel out.
both, so
It's not a higher tier faction or a lower tier faction, and I don't think it's super vulnerable. But it's not hitting them where they're strongest because we're already counting that into hostile territory. I think this is a flat die.
okay. So it's just one die.
I think you get one die for the engagement roll,
Ah.
and we leave it up to the fates.
You want to
Better
do it?
pick a good one.
So wait, would it not would the engagement not factor in what I am doing, because it's the same score.
You are practicing fencing right now.
Do you get a different
Okay.
engagement? I think.
Oh,
I think we don't bother engagement with you.
okay.
I think we're just gonna do the duel's just gonna start, and you're gonna probably be in standing position. That doesn't count. It was a 6,
Dang it.
but it is a dirty die.
I missed.
Here, well,
Just
clearly
do
it's
it
lucky.
again.
Oh. We used it up. Oh,
Okay,
man.
so you guys, are you covered in drift oil, or we'll say you're on ropes, so you don't have to take load immediately.
Yeah.
You've climbed your way up, pushed your way in through the old sewage pipe in an old section of the library, and it deposits you, pushing your way up through a tile. You are looking into the first floor men's bathroom of Borthwell Library, looking up through a tile in the floor that you wiggled your way to from the sewage access, we'll say. And there, occupying one of the sinks, you are looking at his feet, and you look up, is a campus security officer shaving in the mirror. This is your desperate position for rolling 2 on the engagement roll.
Can we wait him out?
I mean, eventually he'll be
Group
finished.
stealth roll will probably make us roll prowl.
Yeah. I think
And
we have
have
to
group
wait.
tactics.
I think we have to wait for him to leave.
Okay.
We're gonna try to wait him out.
You're gonna roll prowl to-
is gone,
You're gonna roll prowl to wait him out. This is a group action.
I guess it's still prowl to just go for it, but waiting seems safer, right?
It does.
Let's do the safer seeming thing.
Yeah.
So group action prowl.
Now, but the engagement roll did indicate you are in desperate position.
Right.
So I think it's like he has dropped his razor just as you are opening the lid and he's looking down to grab it.
Yeah.
I think that's how we're going to justify it being desperate.
We're gonna wait.
All right? Group prowl roll.
Okay.
Like, you know, if one of you is being too loud, one of you, like, grabs the other, closes his mouth, and lowers the tile. And that's how we're going to... Who's leading the prowl roll?
Well, how much stress do you have?
I haven't taken any stress yet, so
I've
I'll
taken
lead.
3. So.
All right, Winter's poking his head up right now.
Winter
sure
is blades in the dark.
I'm sure that I'll be taking stress later.
That's a dirty die.
It was a 1.
Good.
1!
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
no!
Well, I'll take a stress.
You got 2 dice?
I got 2
Do
dice.
you want to
in
push
prowl.
yourself for a third?
I might want to, because like if we fail this,
Devil's bargain?
Oh! Okay.
because if we fail this, then it's like immediately Soj over in a way that isn't.
Devil's Bargain, looking back on this incident, campus police are going to put together what this guy saw or heard, whatever happens next, and it's going to aid their investigation against you, and you will take +1 heat.
Hey, 1 heat.
We don't know how much heat we're about to get. I think.
I mean, if you fail this roll, you get discovered, and there's probably heat attached to that.
That's true. So I guess we'll take it.
All right, Devil's Bargain, +1 heat.
All right, here's my roll.
Can I use whatever this book is?
5.
I don't know what this is. 5 total?
5
Okay.
is the roll, yeah.
So that is a success with desperate consequence.
Which we'll have to resist.
Yep.
Winter, you were leading the roll?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say Hines is almost seen, because he rolled a 1 on that. He's poking his head up through the tile, and you grab him and pull him back in, and in doing so, stumble into the wall where the old sewer was, and a lead pipe is going to drive itself into your thigh. You are going to take a level 2 harm.
Level 2?
Ooh.
Holy
That's
shit.
desperate, alright.
This guy's first to bleed.
Okay. Oh, I have to decide how much load. I guess normal.
Everyone
Resist
take
it.
load. Yeah, everyone take load.
I guess normal.
Yeah, resist that, of course.
Obviously, I'm gonna resist that.
Can you have a level 3?
Wait,
Oh, that's a level
consider
1.
your load, because you're trying to be sneaky, and heavy doesn't mean like disadvantage on stealth.
That's true. It just means if you're caught.
It just means if you're caught, you're sus, and you're good at not being caught.
I think I'll stick with normal.
if we take heavy, is it just a given that it's going to be sus no matter what you do, or can
Yeah.
you talk your way out of it being sus?
It'll be harder to talk your way out of it.
I'm
We're
gonna
not
go
great at
heavy.
that. You're
Alright.
going heavy? Alright, I'm going normal.
I'm a doctor.
Yeah,
No, you're not.
that's not true, but
Doctor's bag.
I'm going to roll prowess resist to try and not be wounded severely.
Go ahead.
What's your prowess?
It's 2.
Am I able to prowess resist as well?
So
for him?
you take
I would take 5
5
stress.
stress. I think you do.
I mean, you could take the protect action, but I did roll.
You did
so...
roll. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't bode well for the spell casting I was planning to do.
Oh.
Um,
So you are.
I am at 6 stress now, and that's after 2 rolls.
So yeah, you back up. And like almost hit this pipe, slip from it, and like grab the ledge that you are hanging from, almost plummeting down. And Hines is going to quietly grab you and pull you back up to the ledge, and your heart is racing from the incident. You suddenly feel a deep, uneasy sense of foreboding about you, and eventually the campus security officer is going to put his razor back in his dog kit and leave the bathroom.
Let's get this over with.
And you pull yourself up onto the white tiled floors of Borthwell Library. What now?
We're gonna exit the bathroom and start looking for some books.
All right. Now you have Josiah Fitzgraves, who has told you that the books you're looking for are on the restricted section of the 3rd floor.
We're gonna sneak into there.
Okay. You are moving your way through. I think this is probably going to represent most of the flashback score is doing this curse.
I think so.
And we'll say that once you do it, it'll be triggered in the present.
All right.
So like the curse takes time to activate, we'll say.
Sure.
And by the time you do it in this narrative, it'll be triggered in the other narrative.
Sounds
We
good.
are going to cut to the start of the duel now then, with that new framing in mind. Cyrus steps in front of you. I'm not going to describe what Winter and Heinz look like in the audience yet, because they might be injured. Winter definitely looks stressed as all shit.
Mhm.
But Cyrus is like slowly walking. You're like walking around each other in a circle. And you can't see where he is looking. Like his eyes are kind of obscured by the mask, and his head is being kept perfectly straight towards you. But you can't imagine he's just locking eyes. His arm is sort of arched straight with his rapier pointing into the gravel, hovering just above it as you move about each other.
I'd like to hit him.
All right, you're gonna go in for the first attack.
I don't know what my other option
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I kinda like
dueling,
it, yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to hit him.
Okay.
Okay, so this is fin esse. I have two. I don't think this one did very well for me. I don't think I should take any help from you guys. Do I push myself for a third die? I have 2 stress right now. I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
Well,
And so right now I could theoretically shrug off like a full like roll 1 on a resist and still be all right. So I don't think I jeopardize that.
I agree.
I think this is the first. We don't need to go too crazy.
So you are rolling 2 dice.
I'm rolling 2
I'm giving you
dice.
standard risky. You can trade position for effect or accept a devil's bargain should you like.
Desperate great. Desperate great.
You could do desperate.
Desperate Grade is a crazy way to start this
XP.
out.
That would be like you are diving at me.
Oh right, I get XP for
I
leading
actually-
a desperate roll.
I actually kind of want to do that. Do you guys? Would you hate me if I did
XP.
that?
You get XP, man.
I get XP.
You get XP.
All right.
I mean,
We love.
it's your
Look
roll.
how close you are to playbook.
That
XP goes
Yeah, it
directly
doesn't
to
count,
prowess,
but like
but-
still.
But still,
XP is XP.
think about it.
Do you want to trade position for effect and go desperate great and unleash just a chaotic barrage on this guy at risk of suffering a level 2 harm?
Yeah, because I can take a level 2.
All right.
I can
mean, you
resist
can
a
And
level
resist
two.
a level 2.
remember.
Now I feel like I should take a devil's bargain.
Okay. And he can, by the way, the way combat in this game works is they can also do stuff. Right? Like this guy can take a swipe at you.
Yeah,
after
I know
this
that
happens.
he's going to hit me also.
Okay. So Devil's Bargain. How about this? You get to do this wild reaching attack, and you might stab him, but you are going to lose grip of your rapier and to be down to the letter opener for the rest of the fight.
I don't know that you want
That
to do that
sucks.
first.
Opening move, drop.
Opening move, drop your sword. Maybe we should all take a breath
Maybe we should all take a breath and maybe I don't.
and roll
trade
a more
position.
normal.
Maybe we go normal.
Introduce a cop clock. Is that a devil's bargain?
I'm going to do that anyway.
Dang
I think
it!
Eventually.
What
That
if
sounds
you
more like.
flavored it as a devil's bargain for our sake?
I mean, I would fill 2 of the 4 slices in immediately would be a Devil's
How about
Bargain.
2 of the 8?
No.
We should have gotten
2
a.
of 4 slices?
Yeah, because it's not like it's going to be filled in every time you fuck up. It's
We-
going to be a separate consequence I can do.
We should consider.
I'll offer you that devil's bargain. Somebody tipped off the cops and they're on their way, halfway there already. I will absolutely offer that devil's bargain.
Your call.
I don't hate it. What are you? You feel like
My main thing is that I feel like that's gonna resolve before our little library mystery does.
Very
that's fair.
possible.
Maybe I do need to play a bit conservatively and wait for the plan to happen.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Let's do
Okay.
that.
So standard risky, no
standard
fuckery.
risky.
I think you do the drop your rapier one.
You can do that anyway. It's like a bluff.
I don't need to come out swinging because I have something waiting in the wings. So this is going to be 2 dice, standard risky. That's a 4.
All right.
Okay, that's
It
a
happens.
success with standard consequence. Okay. So you are going to go in and you are going to make 3 swiping attacks. Clang, clang, clang. You're going to drive him back a few feet and he's going to fight it back. And you are going to feel a little sweat bead from his wrist and flick onto you as his guard has been weakened, and I fill in 2 of the 8 slices. You are, however, going to be mildly exerted from the attack, and going on the offensive right at the outset is a stressful thing to do. I'm going to give you 2 stress as a consequence.
2 stress as a consequence. Can I resist that?
You can, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's prowess resist.
Does it make...
What's your prowess?
I'm a very, very character.
Let's think about the odds.
Yeah, there's a chance that you end up 0 stress from it. There's a chance you end up with more than 2.
I rolled 2 dice and got snake eyes, so...
That just means that we're in for a
You can also
success.
tick armor.
I ended up... Oh, you know what?
This is physical.
I have 3 load left. This will leave me... But I also have a lot of silver. Italic stuff.
Might be
I
better
could
to
have
save
fine-
the armor for a physical.
Yeah, ticking
Like for
ticking
harm.
armor for 2 stress feels like
A waste.
You'd
Yeah.
rather... I think you'd rather just take the stress.
Okay.
Because, 2 dice,
Not my stress.
you're probably gonna roll a 3, and then lose 3 stress.
Statistically.
So you
Well,
you do
statistically,
like
it's a bit better.
you do your swipes at him, and he backs off and chases you back to the center. And there's some gasps from the crowd, and Billy Bolton shouts, "Rip him up already, dweebus!" And Cyrus is going to speak to you and say, "So eager to get on the offensive, are we, Dalton? Can't we just enjoy ourselves for this present moment?"
Make no mistake, I am enjoying myself thoroughly.
And now we cut back to the library.
We gotta get these books.
I am not enjoying myself.
I am not.
He's not enjoying.
Alright.
In the bathroom, incredibly stressed, puddle of sweat on the floor, having gotten into the library, it's been an incredibly close call, and Winter is near to having a heart attack. He's going through a bad bout of consumption right now.
Let's make our way to the stacks.
Yeah.
All right, and
Winter-
would you like to roll something to get your way up to the 3rd floor?
Not before Winter takes a long look at himself in the mirror.
Little
We're
splash
doing
of
this. Yep.
Winter looks at himself in the mirror, and for a brief moment, it's like the irises of his eyes are dragging over and away from his face before he shakes it off and they snap back into position.
Let's do this.
water. Snap it when you're
Alright.
good man.
No.
Me too.
And we make our way into the library.
Now, this isn't our first rodeo in the library. We've been to this library before, just as students.
I mean, I'm sure I have.
surely, right?
That was not. Oh, yeah, you're definitely. Well,
I'm
you haven't.
me,
You
I'm
definitely have.
Winter
Yeah.
knows where he's going.
Winter
right?
is absolutely.
I know
yeah.
the way to the restricted
I'll
section.
give you
It's
an
Winter's
extra
whole
die if you
character
want
to
to roll
know the
something
way
to
to the
navigate your way
restricted
up there.
Yes. I will, I guess, roll gather information. No? Or do I have to... If I know the way, I can know the way.
Well,
right?
this is to get up there without trouble, right?
Right.
Because you were in hostile territory.
That's true.
This is like Lawrence isn't going to catch you.
We'll
So-
make it another better prowl roll.
Allow me to lead this problem.
Yeah, you lead.
Fair enough. Yeah, you can still give your extra die anyway, just because you're here.
Yeah. So
I'm not
I'll
going to
roll
make
3.
you lead.
Yeah.
It'll be so mean.
Yeah.
I got 3 stress
Okay,
left.
then. So,
To give.
how many dice do you roll?
I rolled 1.
All right, you're leading a group prowl roll. Winter is clinging onto walls, pointing you in the direction to quickly and to discreetly. This staircase isn't used that often. This maintenance elevator is.
So, am I rolling 1 and you're rolling 3?
I believe so.
Oh. Is there a way that in character you could, detail where we're going before we leave so it's a 2-2 roll instead?
I think that
Sure.
almost makes more sense.
Yeah, especially if you're leading.
Yeah, so a 2-2 roll instead of a 1-3 roll.
Take my dice really carefully.
You take a stress kerchief. Everyone's rolling so bad except
Oh my
Dalton.
God, I've never seen...
He's
okay.
not here.
Come on.
Please.
No!
You're kidding!
Oh, come on, man.
I didn't set position and effect.
We're just walking in a library.
It would be controlled.
Oh, man.
So you can take a minor consequence here. Oh no, that's
Or-
failure.
We
Yeah.
did fail.
Yeah,
But
let's look up the rules for it.
isn't there a thing if we're at controlled where we can go to risky and roll again?
Oh, yeah, we can push the roll.
We're gonna. That might only be if you get success with consequence. I'm gonna check. You might be right. Oh yeah,
Not
you
numerically.
can trade down to risky from standard. You're good.
Okay, we're gonna do
So we
that in
both
the
re-roll?
interest of...
Huh?
We both reroll?
Yeah. So okay, here's
So
here's
this,
what
I don't take the stress.
You do not.
Okay. I'm
Let
gonna risk-
me narrate what happens. You guys are pushing your way. You exit out of the bathroom to just quietly walk your way up using publicly accessible but like non-traversed routes. And in the hallway next to the bathroom, like an intensely alert Lawrence pushes a book cart like perpendicular to you guys. You have your opportunity to withdraw and do another thing, or keep trying to do this plan at risky, knowing that Lawrence is out there.
Now, if we withdraw, I take 2 stress anyway.
No.
No?
No.
No?
Oh!
Because we failed, we're pushing the roll.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Correct.
we
Yeah.
still suffer a consequence if we don't push the roll.
We push the roll.
I
We
think
push
you
the roll.
I think
Surely.
you don't care that Lawrence is there.
See, that's,
That's
a
already
six.
a six.
Alright,
See,
thank
that's
God.
a
That's a
six.
six.
We got a
The
six.
first 6 that we've rolled.
We have
we got one,
six
we got one.
from Kirchhoff.
If we get another, it's
It's
a
a crit.
crit.
You
We're
guys are
synchronized.
synchronized.
And
That's a
Hey!
crit.
We're
Love to see
synchronized.
it.
We're so back. Man, I could use that 6 one roll ago.
Ooh.
Ooh. Thank goodness.
That sucks.
Oh, man.
Okay, so you guys successfully dart and bob your way around Lawrence. You're like, waiting and timing, moving up. One moves up, waits for Lawrence to go, signals the other, up the staircase, past through the 2nd floor, up to the 3rd, and halfway through the 3rd floor, which you guys are just walking around in, there's like a big hanging wooden sign that says restricted section, like permission for entry required. And the big old scary librarian of Borthwell Library sits there, reading some insanely boring archaic tome. I'm gonna say she's reading the year 506 River Survey of the city of Duskwall. And there's just all the restricted section, like books locked to the stacks behind her.
Oh.
We're at the top of these stairs.
Yeah.
Restricted section.
Mm-hmm.
Librarian.
Yes.
Is there a door between us and the librarian? Or is it just open?
It's just library. There's
Yeah.
more stacks that are not restricted on this floor.
Correct.
Okay.
We
So
might.
the restricted section is just tucked away within
Chained
the
off,
greater...
I think.
Okay, so it's just regular chain?
Yeah, with a very perceptive librarian at the gate.
You know what might work? If we take care of this librarian, then we're home free, right?
Correct.
And you
Have
are a
many-
leech.
So...
I think that you've been to this library before. I think we're going to name the librarian.
Okay.
She is Agnes Borthwell the Ninth.
Oh, man. Ancient.
Yes. How exactly do those
Oh, yeah, I could transport her.
medicines of yours
I
work?
could transport her. I don't think it'd be very nice to drown powder her, but
No,
I'm
I'd
willing
rather
to.
not. I think-
So, eye blind poison. I could mix up a little concoction and just get her really high off of her mind. Real Krielhelm shit.
Yes, I think that would be advisable. Anything to keep her from perceiving us.
Yes. Now, I do only have 1 in finesse. And one in skirmish.
I've one in finesse as
one in
well.
wreck.
Perhaps we could find some way to collaborate on this.
What is it to...
Wait, if I
Use-
take the help action, I take stress.
Well, he's got his assist.
Foresight.
right?
Oh, thank
Foresight.
God for foresight.
No, I was gonna say I can help.
Okay, right on
So,
time. This was a
to
plan.
use a blowgun and darts, what are you going to make me roll to use a blowgun and darts?
Skirmish.
Skirmish.
Or hunt. Probably hunt.
Make it skirmish.
Deal.
Put points in hunt.
Make it skirmish. Skirmish with an extra die.
With an
I
extra,
think if it was hunt, I would give you controlled. For skirmish, I'll give you risky.
that feels
Because you
fair.
gotta be closer up.
For
So I think I could take a blowgun and darts and take a bandolier and
Yeah.
is it trans powder that puts people to sleep?
I believe that's
Let me double check.
correct.
Yes, it is. That is what transpowder does.
Yeah, I would trans powder her.
It's also the thing that is the most subtle for like
I
a
think it's the
librarian
best
to
option
do.
because she might just
is
have
to,
fallen
like-
asleep.
Yeah.
Right? She's an old
As
lady.
opposed to just randomly getting blitzed out of her mind.
Because she's an old woman. She might fall asleep.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you standard risky on this roll.
Push it.
To Desperate Grave. You absolutely can.
I mean, it's your consequence.
What does great effect give us? Oh, we can get out as well.
I think so.
Give
I think
me,
we do
give me a devil's bargain.
want great effect.
Lawrence knows you're here and he's on his way.
Can I look around real quick? Are there windows that are unlocked?
Always.
Yeah.
Unlocked? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You can
I
always
mean,
We'll
we're
just-
about
we'll
to
just jump out.
we're
a
about to
window.
lockpick
Yeah,
the
you can
chains.
always escape out a
Yeah,
window. You
we'll
want to
just
take
jump
that?
out a window. I have drift oil.
That's
Yeah.
true.
We
We'll just
will
have to
take
work
some-
quickly.
Take an
This
extra
is
die for
entirely
desperate grip.
workable.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Now, I'll tell you what the great effect is right here, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to obscure this from you. Agnes Borthwell the Ninth is like the steward of this library. She is from a long line
Yeah,
of
she's
Agnes
named Borthwell.
Borthwell's. Great effect is that you knock her unconscious without her being able to retaliate. She might be elderly, but she is a beast of a woman. Think the Trunchbull from Matilda. Great effect is you knock her out here.
The Trunchbull from Matilda. So should we hate her?
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure she's cruel.
I imagine she's
a
not-
librarian.
Yeah,
at
I
Charter
like
Hall.
that a lot.
All the faculty here is mean.
Yeah.
I
So
think
even
we do
in
want the great
standard
effect.
effect,
Yeah.
she doesn't fall asleep.
Not immediately.
Oh, okay. I feel like you got to take
Yep.
it. Absolutely
Just,
take
just,
it.
just so you don't do the roll and the great effect is the thing you wanted to happen happens. I'm telling you outright.
Yeah.
Your great effect is you do it all the way. immediately.
I'm rolling the 3 die.
Right on time.
I'm
I have
taking the
mapped her
Lawrence.
circadian
All right, Lawrence.
rhythm.
Lawrence is on his way. He'll arrive here some point soon.
6 and
Success
2 ones.
without consequence.
Okay.
Oh man, Blades in the Dark.
So there's like a kid reading at a table outside the restricted section, and he's like blindly like looking forward, not really reading the pages he's doing. And he goes in to sneeze, and you blow dart. It hits Agnes. He sneezes, looks back up, and Agnes is sitting there sleeping as the dart falls out of her neck and rolls onto the floor. You got her right on the jugular. Poison immediately administered to brain. She's out.
Great shot.
Go do your thing.
Winter is Winter
Winter's
going
gonna-
alone in the restricted section right now?
Well,
Maybe not.
I guess we will survey the restricted section real quick.
Give me gather information.
Okay,
Who has-
I can do that.
what is
In
that?
fact, I take +1 when I gather info about the supernatural, and
You
I
do
would
that.
think this qualifies. So, gather information.
I don't think this is about the supernatural. I think you have a lot of experience with libraries. What is the name of the ability that gives you this?
Ghost Mind. You are always aware of supernatural entities in your presence. Take +1d when you gather info about the supernatural.
I'll give a tentative yes on it, just so your abilities are more useful for right now, because it's more fun when you get to use them.
Thank you. I assume this is probably study anyway.
Yes.
And
Or
so-
survey, I think.
Survey I don't have a die in, so it's one
Okay.
die with Ghost Mind.
Works for me.
This is gather info,
Yep.
so there's no penalty for
consequence.
failing. 6.
Ball a little. Yeah.
All right, there is nobody in
This is the
the
6.
restricted section of the library
Are there
right
2
now,
floors on the-
but just above you,
No.
in the ceiling, you hear boom, 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 towards the restricted section.
In the ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Well, do I find the book?
Well, you're gonna go into the restricted section now, right?
Oh, right. Yes, I do
All
that.
right.
Do you have any idea what that was?
Do I have any idea what that would be?
I don't know. It's not supernatural.
Anyway, I'm gonna enter the restricted
Are
section.
you coming with?
Should I?
Now
I-
that there's something in
Would
the ceiling.
would
I think
Winter
you
request that I come
should,
with?
because Winter is kind of panicking a little,
Yeah.
and I don't have
So,
a great
could I
deal
do
of-
something before?
I could use your bandolier.
Yes, you can. What would you like to do?
I think that this does what I think that it does, but really quickly I'm going to double check to make sure that it does what I think that it does.
While you go ahead and look, we're gonna cut back to Herschel because
Let's do it. Yeah, we've been in the library for a while.
So Dalton, Cyrus, and you are still circling each other, sweating, exhausted, so far evenly matched. And he is now going to go onto the attack. Just a little flick is going to cut across your coat. Like, you can feel it across your flesh, but it's not going to draw blood, and you are going to gain a level 1 harm on edge. Would you like to resist it?
I think this is a prowess resist.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do resist this.
Yes?
Absolutely
But
down
you
to
take
nothing.
armor, is what
That's
you're
what
asking.
I'm considering.
The coat
do
is
I
heavier leather.
take the armor, or do I just roll now? I think I roll now and save the guaranteed save.
There is technically a chance that you trauma out here. There is a 1 in 36 chance you trauma out here.
I think you might need that stress for more rolls.
Interesting.
Right?
Oh, good
For
point.
pushing yourself or other things. I think we
Yeah.
might rather take the armor suit.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Playing conservatively
Armor is
means
cheaper than
using your
stress.
resources.
So his sword scratches at your coat, but you have lined it with little bits of metal and leather, such that it does not even bruise the flesh beneath it. Hearing the sound of metal on metal, you can see the folds of Cyrus's mask twist just a little bit as he smiles. Clever bastard. I wish Lawrence had warned me more of this.
Clearly, you didn't do your research.
And now it's your turn to act.
Oh shit. Okay, I want to hit
We
him.
could have cut there. Prepare another one-liner we can cut on later. I just don't want there to be 5 seconds of you and then go back to them.
Yeah, I guess I just hit him.
I mean, you're gonna go in for another attack. You can. All right, sure. Just another finesse roll.
I mean,
or...
Am I being dumb? Are there cooler
no, I
things
don't
I
know.
could
You
do?
could do other stuff, but I just attacked
Finesse
him.
is
It's
my
perfectly fine.
highest skill. Consort and finesse are the same for me, so this is the best roll I can make on a given thing.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to just duel.
My
your
other
opponent.
powers are helping you guys.
All right. Do you want to describe the way that you're going about this attack for flavor?
Oh, that's interesting. Clearly you haven't done your research, and I want to try and with my sword knock his mask off.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
All right.
I would love for the final blow for him to be on like the face.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
So I want to set that up.
All right. Go ahead and give me. This is standard risky.
Standard risky.
Would you
fair
like to trade to desperate grade?
No. For now,
Yeah, I think it's standard risky. We just
appreciate that the odds aren't bad. That's a 4.
That's a success with
Yeah.
your standard consequence.
not bad at all.
Standard consequence that isn't just we've done harm, we've done stress.
Standard consequence.
Crazy idea. Consequence that affects your standing with other gangs.
I will say, ooh, okay, I actually really like that. This is seen as unsportsmanlike. I kind of like that idea.
And so the gangs in attendance, maybe just one of them is like, I don't like those guys.
I think it's a standard consequence, so I think this is bad press for Charter Hall. I think Eldritch is he's like a little annoyed that his reputation is a little besmirched by this move here. Somebody agreed to a duel on his turf and now their identity is known. He's worried about the bad press. You're going to go to 0 relation instead of +1. You can resist that.
Okay, that's a consort resist,
Absolutely
isn't it?
That is a
Wait, no,
consort.
that's a
It would be-
resolve.
resist.
It would be
Resist.
you
That's
talking with Eldritch afterwards, apologizing profusely.
It's no better than prowess.
They're all the same for you.
Forgive me, Eldritch. Forgive me. Or you can take 0'd out with Eldritch and he's annoyed with you.
I feel like we could salvage later.
Yeah, you think we'll do another deal for him and make it up to him?
I like the Charter Hall press.
They're fun.
Yeah, I wanna. Maybe we do a future.
I
job
feel like
on their behalf.
we work with them more, and this is just a. Remember
Consider,
that time
though,
you did
if
something
you work
fucked
with-
up?
If you work with them more,
We
you
could
will get them to
gain
+2
plus
and then
two,
+3
right?
allies quicker.
How much? Oof. But
Then
if
it
I
comes down
trauma
to-
out here, the shit is done.
Yes,
That's
there is
true.
a.
I don't like that. I don't
Yeah,
like
I
that
think we
this
have
is
to
my lose
Adjust the
condition
character,
I'm playing
adjust the
with.
crew sheet. You
Yep.
are 0'd out at Charter Hall Post.
It's just one extra session.
It's just one extra session, and we lose this immediately if I trauma.
So you swipe the mask off of Cyrus, and he is semi-plain but approximately conventionally handsome. His hair is very well kempt, but is ruffled a little bit as the puffin mask flies off of him and rustles down into the dirt.
The criminal unmasked.
He looks down at it and he says, "You're tempting me to up the stakes from blood to death, Dalton." And he steps forward, and we cut back to the library.
So before I go into the library with him, I just want to take out a flask of binding oil
Okay?
and just drench the stairs.
Ooh,
That's awesome!
that's great. I love
Absolutely. That's so funny. Home Alone. Yeah, totally. You put binding oil all over the stairs. All right, so you guys enter the restricted section of the library together, lit not by candles but by electroplasmic lighting so as to prevent flame from being introduced here. It has the most thorough fire retardant system in the entire campus. And you guys walk in, begin looking for the shelves that Josiah Fitzgraves told you, and you are there's a shelf here, and the books you need are exactly halfway between it. and on the exact other end of this stack, one of the ceiling tiles gets pulled up and over, and a cheat sheet is going to land at the other side, looking for similar curse books.
Pokemon ass.
That's the same plan.
I love doing that. That's always the reveal, is they have the same. I did that to my poor mothership crew. So let me describe the other cheat sheet. She stands at around 5'2", wearing a black sweater and brown leather trousers, held to her waist via 3 large belts giving host to various pouches, bags, and the odd vial. Even in broad electrolight, she would appear almost in shadow. Her face is cloaked by a thick black leather mask shaped like the head of an East Scottish pintail. The eye holes have been fit with adjustable glass lenses, and a few filtered pinpricks dot around the mouth of the mask as a breathing apparatus. Messy blonde hair sticks up and out all around from beneath the mask.
I should mention also, for the sake of this, especially now that we're in the restricted section where we're not allowed to be, Ernest has reached up to his sort of like periwinkle beanie that he wears and pulled it down over his face, revealing that it is a ski mask stylized to look like a skull.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Skylines to look like a what?
A skull.
Oh.
What are you?
No, he's normal.
I will say, if I, like, this is making me think that lady is going to have cursed me in this match. If that is true, resolve resist ain't bad.
It's whoever wins this fight, the other party gets
person's
cursed.
Well, I'm gonna lean on
Playing
you because
safe
you have
with
more
my
combat
stress.
options than me.
Would I immediately attack?
Heinz
Yeah.
probably would.
Yeah, Heinz is crazy.
I have one more foresight that I was planning on using for your inevitable occult roll. How many die do you have in occult? Do you need it?
I have 2, so maybe.
So,
In the stack.
the other cheat sheet stands across from you down the hall and looks at you through her puffin mask.
Hello.
You're speaking to her?
Excuse me, ma'am, this is a
Yeah,
restricted section. You
I'll
can't
speak
hear.
real quick. Hello.
Privyet!
Oh, young Skov.
And then you attack? Like, or do you want to talk?
I'll talk a little bit.
Slava Skovlanda?
Duh.
I don't speak anymore.
I have to say, I like the puffin thing. Very cohesive.
Thank you. Was Cyrus's idea. You are similarly well stylized.
Well, we try.
Let's fucking go.
Now, I request that you leave my library.
About that.
Why was she sneaking into her own library?
Because Borthwell is not in on the cheat sheets.
Oh.
I think that we have to fight each other now. So let's.
I think this is not a good idea. I
Why?
have reinforcement incoming. And then you hear from the stairs, fuck!
Oh man! That one?
And she reaches for a pouch.
All right.
And you can go
Yeah.
first.
Make your move.
So blowgun and darts. I don't think Heinz wants to deal that much damage to
No.
a fellow minority.
Just something. Well, just something that'll knock her out, just like we did before.
This will be harder, by the way. You're fighting a scoundrel now.
I'm not in a great shape for a boss battle.
It's hard to fight a scoundrel. I'm fighting a scoundrel.
I'm going to inflict some temporary blindness with an eye blind poison dart.
Okay, I'm going to give you limited effect, risky position, because she is wearing a breathing apparatus.
Well, it's a dart.
Oh, it's a dart!
Yeah, it's a blowgun with dart.
Oh, cool. I was thinking it's something that has to get into her eyes.
No, it's a dart.
Okay, that's cool. I'm going to give you standard risky.
Pushing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have a devil's bargain you want to give me.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to give you a devil's bargain. She is going to get off whatever she wants to throw at you, and it'll deal a level 1 harm to both.
Both of us?
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, I could take a level 1
That
harm.
means-
I couldn't resist it.
you will be collateral, because I think otherwise it'll just hit me. I think I can just take the 2 stress.
Yeah, that's probably cheaper.
I'm just going to take the 2
You're going to
stress.
push yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 die for a skirmish.
Yes. Standard risky. You want to go to Desperate Great?
Do I?
What can we expect?
Oh, I rolled a
Great
desperate
effect, she's
earlier.
totally blind for this fight.
I got to take a prowess for that.
Instead of just hazy vision and then blind. We're talking another shot straight to the jugular. Blind immediately.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
So Desperate Great.
5.
That is a desperate consequence at
I'll
great
roll to
effect.
resist it.
Well, let's hear the consequence.
Let's hear the
Yeah.
consequence.
I'm gonna.
So
roll
she is reaching for. Oh man, I think she is tough and is actually reaching for a knife.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, I kind of think she is.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think you guys are on her turf. She's outnumbered 2-1. Her reinforcements are there. She's desperate and will stab you. She's not trying to kill you, but she is trying to throw a knife into your gut.
Well, we'll see.
So desperate effect is you are going to get knifed, level 2 harm.
So she throws a knife at me.
Yeah, like you reach for the dart, and while your dart is in the air, her knife is in the air, and it hits her in the jugular just as her knife impacts your
You
gut.
have heavy load.
Yeah. So I can tick armor.
Armor will reduce it down to a level 1 harm bleeding.
So I've used 2 load on the blow dart and the bandolier. I can tick 5 for heavy armor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to tick 5 for heavy armor.
I think you
And-
take the harm, dude. I think it's not that
It's
hard
just
to heal.
one harm.
Nah, I don't like healing in downtime. So the knife impacts my gut, and I just laugh, and I.
Under his apron is a
I
metal
pull my
plate.
apron to the side, and it's just a mass of rats. None of them have been killed. They're all holding the knife.
That's the craziest thing
They
you
all
could
grabbed
possibly have been under there.
I'm going to invent a second clock here. I guess you might have heard her name from Gather Information, just so I can be more specific. Her name is Rudnova. All right, you're going to deal 3 slices to the Rudaniva kill clock.
Kill?
Defeat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're not trying to
People
kill
don't
anybody.
die. Yeah, people don't die yet. So yeah, your dart goes into her, and her knife impacts you, and like, she is immediately blind. Winter, would you like to do something as well?
She's super blind.
I'd like to.
Now
roll-
remember, you need to not trauma out because you're doing the spell.
That's true. I'm thinking I might, especially with her being blind, just sort of sneak over and get the book.
Okay, yeah, you can take the book.
I think I'm gonna take the book.
We'll say that your action is like, you want to try and pick the lock?
I can try that. Yeah,
You want to take burglary gear?
I can definitely take
Do that for
burglary
free.
gear.
Gives you.
I've got thief.
I don't know that there's a need to roll. I think that
Yeah.
you will use this turn, pick a lock, you'll have a book next turn. Rudanova is
has
going
a
to
line.
use her special
gear's
ability
great,
as a
yeah.
lurk, the Devil's Footsteps,
Gives you
to do a superhuman feat of strength, I think it is.
No, that's not to be
Perform a
trifled
feat of
with.
athletics that verges on the superhuman.
Athletics is more of like running and jumping and stuff. Not to be trifled with is the strength one.
I think you can use it in combat for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Maneuver to confuse your enemies such that they attack each other. I don't want to use that against you.
Winter isn't even attacking.
Yeah, it would be like Heinz shoots you.
Yeah.
Which is
she's
awful.
running around the walls, and I'm like tracking her, and then I shoot a dart into Winter. It's like, oh no!
She's gonna use some of her burglary gear. She's going to take out a crowbar, and like push against, like run up, jump, push against the wall, and try and just swing at you with it. You are going to take. This is her special ability, a level 2 harm.
This is very impressive
Another
for someone blind.
It is, yes. She's a scoundrel using the Devil's Footsteps to make this attack.
All right. Well,
A level 2?
A level 2.
Even blind?
Yes.
So it would have been a level 3?
No, she's using. It would have been a level 2 normally. You put her down to a level 1. She's burning a special ability now. She is a scoundrel that can do the same special things that you guys can.
that's fair enough.
She's hitting you in the chest with a crowbar and
Prowess
breaking one of
success.
your ribs.
Prowess.
You have 5 in
That's
prowess.
4. So that's 1
That's
stress.
clear 5.
All right.
So that's down to a level 1.
Yes.
Do
Would
I
you like-
dare?
How
Do I
much
dare?
do
How
God.
many
Resist
stress
it
do you have to
away?
stress?
You can.
Otherwise, a level 1 isn't that terrible.
Who's in charge?
You lose. Okay, so you have a 1 in. You have a 1 in 2 to the 4th.
I'm counting on you to win
There's
this
a
fight.
1 in
'cause I need to
32
cast a
chance that
spell.
you trauma out here.
Who's in charge? Me or the devil? I think I'm in charge. No.
He's
I
not
can't.
taking it.
I can't.
All
I
right.
have a level 1.
Take the level 1 harm. It's not that bad.
So yeah, you
I've had
take
one
a
since the
bruise.
first session.
You take a bruise as she hits you in the ribs with a crowbar.
I've been winded.
Scottish hearing is best in world.
I will make noise then! Ah!
And what would you like to do, Kirchhoff?
So I just want to like,
Syringe to the gut.
yeah.
Something that'll
What do
stop her.
you
So
do?
as she is just charging me with this crowbar,
Haven't
I
hit
wanna-
you with it.
Yeah, she hits me. I get a little bruise, but it's only a level 1 bruise.
Correct.
And I want to just jab her while she's going past with a little bit of what? What should I
Poison
do?
that kills you.
Stand still.
Standstill poison.
Oh yeah.
All
that's a
right,
good
this
one.
is skirmish.
If she's standstill and blind, then
Yeah.
there's nothing she can
All
do
right.
about it.
Now you do have a level 1 harm. I think it is related to combat. You are at risky limited right now.
Oh, I thought that was only
Does
when
that
you had
only
2.
manifest when you have 2?
That was a rule. That was a War of the Crow rule because of the high octane nature of it. But I do not think it is a rule for the actual game. I'll check. But I think you do only need to have 1, and I think that is how I have been running it thus far. You suffer the penalty indicated at the end of the row if any or all harm recorded in it applies to the situation.
There you go.
So you do have less effect right now.
Then can I resist it?
Absolutely. Resist what?
The harm in the first place.
Deal. Yeah, because you didn't know.
Yeah, that's a 5.
Okay, so you lose 1 more stress. You do not take the crowbar damage. Good luck editing that exchange.
It's fine.
You do not end up taking the crowbar exchange now that we have clarified the rule. She swings completely wide, crashes the crowbar into the side of the shelves, and it is now you again.
Yeah, I think I'll just...
Inject her with trance powder.
No, stand still.
Stand still. Okay, this is risky standard. Skirmish. Would you like to trade to Desperate Great? And that will take her out of the fight.
How many foresights do we have?
1.
1
Just
left.
1 to spend.
Desperate great.
I mean,
Do
if
you
we
want
do,
it or do you want it?
Here's
I
the
mean,
thing, if we get the
realistically,
great-
both of you want it.
if we get the great result, then we win the fight.
It's smooth sailing forever and ever and ever.
So maybe
Desperate great.
Do it.
Can I get that die?
I'm willing.
Are you okay? You could go crazy and push yourself when you do need to make that occult roll.
I might.
I mean, a
It's-
trauma is just a trauma.
weird.
Well, I
Really
don't take a
safe
trauma
thing to
unless
do.
I take more than
All right.
3
So,
stress.
right on time.
So I have the extra die.
Yeah, you were like, I during your gather information, you heard that the Scottish person he runs around with is a little smaller. Her veins are closer together. Like you're gonna run into her and you're gonna want to inject her here or whatever on this part of her body. So
Now, if
I don't
I
know how you knew that was coming, but
I would have thought maybe it's more of a, hey, I'm doing all of this fencing, and what you do with those needles isn't that different. So here's a couple pointers.
if I push
that
myself,
works better.
Yeah.
if I push myself and take the 2 stress that will trauma me out of the session, what happens?
You do your action and then you're gone.
And if it succeeds, then we're good.
I guess.
Depending on the desperate consequence.
Well,
You have a-
can I? Do
That's
I still
true.
have
You
the
would
opportunity,
lose the opportunity
to
to
resist the
resist
consequence?
because you'll be out of stress.
Do you have a devil's bargain?
Do we
Trauma
want a
out.
devil's bargain? Because if this works, we might be done.
Yeah, but if it doesn't work and I get a bad consequence that I have to resist, odds are I'll stress out.
Devil's Bargain, Lawrence is here.
Devil's Bargain,
Which
the
might be a
backup.
consequence as well.
Devil's Bargain, the backup takes their shoes off and is up the stairs.
That is exactly it.
Oh, that
the
is
backup.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Lawrence
Okay.
backup.
And at which point you guys just get out the window.
I guess.
You're in the middle of
You
the
have the
stacks.
book next turn.
Shit.
I have the book.
Should I just roll the 2? What do
Desperate
you
Great.
think? What do you think, winner? Just roll the 2.
2
Oh,
is
you
so
only
few.
get 2.
2 is few.
I think you do want a third die.
No. Do I take that Lawrence bargain or do I trauma out?
I don't think you want to trauma out. The Lawrence bargain, I think, is cheaper than traumaing out.
Alright, I'll take the Lawrence bargain.
Okay. Would you like to help for 1 stress?
What's your stress at?
I have 3 to spend.
I don't know that you want to trauma out.
I don't think you do, dude.
I need to make this a cult roll.
Yeah. All right. You've got 3 dice. Desperate Great to inject her with standstill.
Yep.
Okay. A 6 would be very good here. That does a dirty die.
6!
6!
Let's go.
Alright.
All right. You hit Rudaniva with the needle. It plunges through her leather armor into her veins, and immediately a smaller knife stops coming towards you as she is completely frozen and paralyzed for the time being.
She thinks that would have done something, but my rats have got me.
Just at the other end of the stacks, a shoeless Lawrence appears with a croquet mallet. Hey! And you now
I
have a
have the
book.
book.
Winter?
We don't have to pay him any mind.
Is he gonna try and fight us with the mallet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You run. Like,
I
you
have a
just run.
funny option.
Mhm.
It's a risky idea
That's the best kind.
because it costs me stress
Oh.
to even try. But if it works, it might just sort of trivialize this business. Winter, since our last escapade, has been practicing a bit of occult magics of his own, and he has a new technique he learned called Ghost Veil.
Oh, fuck right. You have Ghost Veil. That's awesome.
Ghost Veil, to those not in the know, is a power from the Lurk skill set that Winter the Whisper has learned as a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to take 2 stress in order to become shadowy and insubstantial and slip through walls. You can take extra stress to make it last longer, become invisible, or capable of flight. However, if I attempt this, I will only have 1 remaining stress and will not be able to resist anything or push myself or take any other sort of stress-related action without prompting a trauma. I think what we do
Let me prowl with an
is...
I'll tell you, if you burn your ability, you're out for free.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I want to use the ability because it's cool. Because my main thing, I guess, is if we went through all this thing to do 1 attune roll, I make it a straight attune roll, and I don't succeed. That would be very cool.
No, you're not. I'm going to give you an extra die because you've got the books.
Oh, that is interesting.
I am interested in getting out of here. In fact, we just have to get out of here with the book, and then we can cast the spell when we're not
You will still
in
be,
enemy territory.
Yes, correct. You
So,
will still have all your stress and harms, but it's just going to be you guys get out of here and we do you doing a roll. I think so.
all right. I tell the pharmacist, right? Wasn't that your character
Yeah.
name?
Pharmacist
Driftor.
now.
Yeah, I mention I window, and then I take the book and fall down 2 floors.
Holy shit!
So yeah, what Ernest does is basically he turns like sort of all translucent and blue, and just sort of.
You plummet through the floor. On the 2nd floor of the Borthwell Library, a student puts down a fresh cup of coffee onto a table and sighs to herself as she cracks open a book with a few of her friends. Winter falls through the ceiling and lands feet first on the table, spilling the coffee over onto the floor. God damn, what? And you jump off the table and jog with the book towards the exit as they look on in curiosity and befuddlement. Kirchup, you have Lawrence running towards you with a croquet mallet in the middle of the restricted section.
I'm
Sorry, buddy.
sprinting toward an open window with a flask of drift oil in my hand.
What would you like to roll to do that?
I don't know.
It's probably prowl.
It's probably prowl. Running is traditionally prowl.
I mean, it's a 1 die no matter what I have. I have 1 die in everything in prowess, so.
Okay. I'm
I
going
think
to do
it's-
standard risky
yeah.
prowl to get to a window.
Get out the window.
Will you make me roll again to get out of the window?
If you're trying to open it quietly, if you're just
I'm not trying to open it.
yeah, if you just want to grab a chair and throw it through, I'll allow it. Getting out, like you might have to do some drift oil fuckery, but there'll be an open window by the time you get to the end of this roll if you don't care about noise.
I don't.
This will impact heat.
They don't know that it was us.
That's
Correct.
You
That's
are
why
more
you-
valuable
Also,
than heat
there
or
is
crew
a-
XP.
Paralyzed member of the cheat sheets in the restricted
If
section
it were not
right
hostile turf, maybe. And remember, heat isn't the cops know it was you. It's that your activities are generating police interest, and that does
Yeah.
come back to you at least a little.
And a broken window would do that.
Chaos is heat. That is a core function of the game. And this will have something to do with that.
But thus far, we've only taken 1 that we know of.
Yeah.
We've been pretty quiet besides.
I guess. Can I try to loop him around the restricted section and then jump over the binding oil that I put on the stairs?
For Desperate Great, yes.
That's funnier.
That's funnier. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's just do it, man.
Try and lose him in the stacks, and then skip over your glue trap.
Yeah.
I am
Desperate
desperate
Great.
Well,
to
I'm
help
only
you.
jumping over the glue trap if he's still on my tail. If I lose him in the tracks, then I'm just gonna alkahest it.
Deal. That makes more sense. Try and lose him. 1 die. Desperate Great.
For
You want a devil's bargain?
what? What bargain are you gonna give me, man?
You drop. Oh wait, no, you can't.
Here, Devil's
How-
Bargain.
Level 1 harm exhausted. From the sprint.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Carrying all this heavy damaged rat armor with you.
I had a Devil's Bargain that was really funny. That isn't helpful. But I was gonna say, Devil's Bargain is you drop one of the rats in the glue and have to leave him behind.
No. You want to take a level 1 harm exhausted? You
Yeah,
can
let's
resist
do it.
it.
Let's do it.
Alright, you've got 2 dice.
4.
Alright, that is a desperate consequence.
Mhm.
Would you firstly like to resist down exhausted?
Well, you can resist a devil's consequence?
Yes.
Or a devil's bargain?
I think taking 1 harm is.
I think you can.
Can I resist the
I'm gonna-
other
I'm
one
gonna look it
first? Can I resist the desperate one first?
Sure. Resist it in whatever order you'd like.
I want to resist the
Let's
desperate
hear
one
about what the
first.
desperate
Yeah, I want to
one
hear
is.
what the desperate one is first.
Man, what even is the desperate consequence out of this? Lawrence
I
catches
mean-
you for a bit and you kick him off of you? Honestly, -2 with the void chalks.
Oh.
They gave you this advice. This is their section of the library. They've been caught meddling here before, and a lot of the heat from this is going to get put on them.
I don't
That's-
want to do that.
I think that's got to be it.
Yeah, so I resist that.
Resist that.
Instead of your level 1 harm. So resist down.
That's
6.
a success.
You are now at -1 with the void chalks, putting you at
Resist
0.
again.
Ooh, this is crazy.
You
Six.
take no
Six.
stress!
I'm
Would you
gonna
like to resist the level 1 harm?
HP.
You take no stress!
Oh my god!
This is why I do this!
That was 1 6, another 6, and then a crit, 2 6s.
That was awesome. So
Wow.
yeah, Lawrence chases after you, and I'll say, like, there's like a little, you just run around into the other side of the stacks. He turns and you're just bobbing and weaving between bookshelves, and by the time he gets out into the main part of the library where you have run, you are going down over the stairs, and he hesitates, looking over it at his shoes that are still there, assumes there is some trickery, and tries to shimmy his way down the banister, costing him so much time that you are out the front door.
Let's go.
All right. Now we cut to a few days later,
Yes.
while you are preparing to prep the curse that you will cast during the duel.
So here's the plan. I cast it during the duel.
I think that's more fun.
Yeah, but then the point of the curse was that nobody would see it happen.
They won't.
Okay.
You will say a couple words under
Oh,
your
okay.
breath,
Yeah.
and he will be cursed.
Okay, here's the plan.
I won't be, because you took out the
Because you
Yeah.
took out Rudanova.
I have a strange friend in Quellen the Witch.
Okay.
I would like her assistance in preparing the curse.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get +1d from Quellen.
Plus 1d from the book.
Plus 1d from having the book.
You're at 4 dice.
I am at 4
Fine
dice.
books to aid you
I
in
have
person.
fine quality books and a
This
friend.
is standard risky, or you can go to Desperate Great and it will fill in 3 slices of this clock.
Oh.
And put you 1 slice away from victory.
Desperate Great is very cool. The biggest thing is,
Desperate Great gives you XP in a tune,
It
which
does.
is hype as fuck.
here's the trouble, right?
You have 4 dice.
Whatever the consequence of this is, I cannot resist it.
Correct.
Which is why you're gonna get a 6.
Which is why I'm gonna get a 6. But getting up to Desperate doesn't help me. It's hype.
You have 4 dice to
Desperate.
prepare a crushing
This would have
curse.
been a fantastic time for Right on Time, but I do agree with my use.
You are sat in a study room at Moreland Hall with your friend the witch, poring over arcane tomes, scrawling runes on clay tablets, shattering them and absorbing their latent energies into your mind, marking your flesh and dripping the requisite blood onto the seal, that sort of thing. Desperate Great, please, to create a rune.
6.
That's
Three!
that's
666!
666!
Okay,
Aw.
so,
Is the devil in charge of me?
are you ready for me to describe this curse?
Okay.
Alright, 666, crit on a curse.
I'm gonna plug in my.
What is Quellen?
Yeah, Quellen the Witch.
Quellen the Witch, so she's sitting there as you finish this, and over this, clay tablet that you've drawn a rune on, a deep crimson shimmer is going to go over it, and you and Quellen for a moment see the flicker continue into the ghost veil. And she looks at you and she's like, "Are you sure you want to use this on a person?"
Dalton's counting on me.
All right, Winter. Let's stay friends. Quellen is now a little afraid of you. And now you two At this point, Dalton, you have been throwing glances over to your two friends, sitting absolutely sweat-stained and exhausted on a bench nearby, still having nightmares from the stress induced upon them by the incident at the Borthwell Library. Winter is reading over a journal, which, unbeknownst to the other attendees at the duel, has a small, fragile, rune-engraved clay tablet on the inside of it. He looks over at Cyrus as he stands at the duel, like throwing these big, swinging jabs at you, exhausting himself, and Winter looks over, begins the chant of old, and slams the book shut, shattering the tablet as a small bit of latent energy, invisible to anyone not looking at the ghost veil, builds in his hand, and he flicks it over in one small, subtle motion concealed by his scarf. There is a deep wind that suddenly cuts across the entire gravel pit, and both of your coats are caught up in it as you struggle against the wind. Cyrus, staggers forward for a moment, and his teeth begin chattering. One of his eyes flicker, and he, clutches over and vomits profusely into the gravel below. Clutching his gut, lets go of the rapier for a moment and begins blindly grabbing around in his coat for a dagger. You are allowed to do the finishing blow here. Whatever you do will succeed. As due to a critical success, this curse has filled in 4 slices on this clock.
Cold, isn't it, Cyrus? A bold strategy to send Rudanova to curse me. Unfortunately, you seem to have counted yourself on the wrong person and against the wrong people.
He looks up at you in horror.
That is why you have lost today. And I'm going to take my rapier and just swipe across his cheek.
Cunning bastard! And he reaches for a dagger and is gonna step towards you.
Can the tip just fall to his throat?
Absolutely. And he stops.
Do you yield?
And he slowly takes the dagger out, puts it in his hand blade-wise, and hands it to you. I yield, good sir. Consider Borthwell your own. And he is going to stagger away back towards the Dalton Library, where you're going to see the glinting lens figure drop down, briefly exposed by lantern light. She is going to look at you, Winter, and nod briefly in respect before she and Cyrus file off into the night.
Winter returns the nod.
Bro, even if she got that curse, she can't curse like you, dude.
Lawrence will be eagerly awaiting your arrival at Borthwell Library. He is your man there.
Let's go.
Let's go, we've converted.
We got Lawrence.
He comes with the library. He was not a member of the cheat sheet.
the library.
We got Lawrence.
You now have a turf, and let me give you there is a benefit of this turf. You are going to discover a series of covert drop boxes and pneumatic tubes that are going to give you a pretty good benefit, I think. Borthwell Library gives you covert drop, plus 2 coin for scores that involve espionage or sabotage.
Oh my god,
We
we're
love
so
doing
good
that.
at those.
We love to sabotage.
This was so good. Honestly, I feel like this doubled as an acquire asset because now we have that book that you went through hell for.
That's true, I suppose. We'll investigate that later.
We'll figure out what that does. We'll do downtime after dinner, I think.
Yeah.
You will have extra downtime. It is about to be mid-year break. The semester is over. And
Really?
you'll come back for the second semester of your freshman year after gratitude.
We can train.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to give you double downtime.
That's great, because I need
You're all
to
fucked up
relax.
And you guys are going to, at the beginning of the semester, as you guys are beginning to establish yourself, be met by some more high-up players in the crime game. All right, from all of us here at Charter Hall in the Borthwell Library, we bid you a hearty, perpetual night.
Woo.
Hearty, perpetual good night. There we go.
We did it.
You don't even have to edit that so it sounds good. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
See you later.